Professor, we have talked about listening and responding and then spend quite some time discussing confidence and audience engagement. But not all forms of communication are spoken. In the context of communication, experts also talk about writing and nonverbal communication in addition to listening. What exactly encompasses nonverbal communication and why is it important?
Nonverbal communication is said to be around 90% of your total communication. So imagine how important this one specific aspect is. The way you express yourself, considering your stance, volume, gestures, and posture, pitch and eye contact, blink, how you walk, sit, and when you shake your head, drives the way you are perceived. Body language including gestures and overall posture must be reflecting what you are trying to communicate. Good communication means you coordinate your body and words. There are many complementary actions that can reinstate the points you are making by speaking. These constitute non-verbal communication, and are expressed by your body language. It can be very odd if your body and words do not coordinate, like if someone says they are happy to announce something, but they are not smiling, their shoulders are sagging, and arms clutched to their sides, is an example of body language being highly uncoordinated with your words. It can come across as odd, awkward, and will probably leave your audience confused.
Then is there such a thing as good body language or bad body language? As in, gestures that can signal good communication?
Body language can be positive, which shows your eagerness and confidence through open and good posture. Sit straight, look at the interviewer in the eyes, smile, and try to feel comfortable in the setting you are in. That will help ease you into the conversation. Keeping your palms closed in a fist, and being jittery like trying to shake your legs, are generally accepted cues of nervousness and, perhaps, anxiety. While being anxious is not uncommon for applicants, you should aim to appear calm and collected. There is so much about you that the recruiter should be focused on, rather than being distracted by a bumping leg. It is the conventionally accepted norm to dress in formals. Wear clothes that showcase a sense of seriousness and carry a professional vibe. Do not wear clothes that distract from your character. Try to emphasize your personality through your actions, and be remembered for something professional and relevant, like a good answer to a question or your story. This is not a part of body language, but it expresses your fastidiousness. It is also very easy to get dressing wrong. If you wear a bright red blazer and gold jewelry to your interview, your recruiter would be distracted by these elements, and spend time analyzing the importance of them to you. You risk the chance of either being questioned on your bold choice of attire, or being judged and facing a biased decision. Such extreme elements should be ignored, so that in the short time you have to propose your candidacy, the focus is on your professional side and capabilities. It is important to change your tone as and when required. Emphasize where you want to convince, be slow and clear, while listing positives or focus points. In case you are pitching to senior professionals, then ensure that you appear prepared to justify yourself, be enthusiastic, confident, and technical. Your tone should be convincing, and your body language non-aggressive. If you are presenting to your team or juniors and peers, be prepared to explain yourself and ensure you are motivating and welcoming with your actions and tone.
Coming to the second part of my question, written communication is just as important as verbal communication in the workplace. It is often the first form of communication you have with an employer, even before you are called for an interview. How big a space do you think the written means occupies in terms of communication mechanisms at the workplace?
I think I can give a good example. At Amazon, Jeff Bezos and the team value written communication a lot. Every meeting proceeds with a few minutes where all the employees read a brief of around 4 to 6 pages that explains the core contents to be discussed, relevant developments, and deliverables. This is such an integral part of the work at Amazon that written communication is specifically listed as a requirement for jobs, and tested extensively in their recruitment process. Written communication is also a large part of compensating for excessive time taken on calls or meetings. You need to be able to script a good briefing. During the interview process, and we have been focusing on this for a while now, your CV is usually the first form of communication you will have with your recruiter. They will view your application and resume and cover letter as an introductory brief to you, hence it is an extremely valuable aspect for your recruitment. You should try to be as clear and concise in your written communications. Another crucial step is after you progress to the stage where the other, more commonly discussed aspects of communication come into play, such as talking, interviewing, etc. You will also be networking a lot in each phase, and while you are a job seeker, it is imperative that you come off as a professional individual who deserves their time when you send across a written request to a professional via LinkedIn. From emailing to writing bios, experience and role descriptions for your LinkedIn profile, writing and responding to recruiters, messaging, sending across questions and queries are all a part of written communication. Your message should be simple to view and understand.
This brings me to my next question. We do have a lot of misconceptions around communication. For instance, are longer speeches better than shorter ones? Is it possible to take them up one at a time in the next section?
Certainly, let us address some of the misconceptions around communication in the next section.
Before we move on to the next section, try answering the following questions.